Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new play-by-play video. We are playing some Chulainn solo today for the A to Z series. Definitely one of the better picks. This actually was supposed to be my Cthulhu game, but Cthulhu was banned, so I'm doing some Chulainn right now, and I'll do the Cthulhu one a little bit later. But really meta solo pick, one of the best characters in this role. High pressure, great fight, very good safety. And it looks like we're laying against Odin, which is going to be one of the easier lanes, but quite frankly, on this character, you don't really have a lot of difficult lanes. Cuckoo does really well into basically every pick. He can be a little bit unsafe, I guess, in comparison to like a Sun Wukong, but even then, it's not too bad. I haven't played this pick in so many months that I actually messed up the rage. If you're, able to clear that a little bit more like efficiently, you actually can save your rage before transforming, but just pretty good buff clear in general on this character and stuff, so we're going to be able to get to lane really before this guy who decided to kind of play the lane super passive and probably build something bad for clearing. Either way, though, he's going to lose lane pressure. He went double defense, mystical mail rush build. The idea with this build is it is supposed to be very safe, but obviously very low clear pressure, decent fight in theory. All we're going to have to do is just kind of jump his ability. I want to poke him out as much as I can. So if he wants to do any damage to me, he's going to be taking a ton back, and we're already in a very dominant start in this lane. I'm going to kind of do the totem so I can like create some wave pressure, and he's already in a really tough spot, like I said. I'm okay to play hyper aggressive on this character because I do always kind of have transforms. You generally want to hold your jump if you're afraid or not sure where the jungler is, or if you are going to jump in, you just want to make sure that you're going to be transforming soon after, so you're always very safe. The idea is, like, really on a character like this, always kind of have a dash up, so to speak. So you're never really in any threat of dying. Poseidon actually died in mid, but there was like a trade. I'm not really worried about, getting ganked though, and already with just being level 4 here, and soon to be a little bit more ahead, you can kind of see why this pick does sort of dominate ranked and did dominate competitive when it was around. You just get to farm super quickly and just kind of fight people. I just jump his jump, walking him as he's 3ing, space from the 3, keep autoing him down, just poke him out as much as possible. The gank is coming, but like I said, we've kind of immune to all the damage potential, and this is just a really easy walkout. I thought. He killed me. What the hell? I guess not. I can't believe that killed me. Alright. Did he pop Wing Shard? Maybe. That's gotta be. He was autoing so fast right there. I thought 1,000,000,000% I was out. I guess I'm just a noob. I mean, good gank by him. I thought that was never gonna work. Well, that's the magic of these videos. Sometimes you pick the good god, expect to just run over things, and you don't. So, a little bit of a situation, but I think we're totally okay. Still ahead on this character. I might be even now. Don't really need to change up anything. Just want to make sure we're jumping the 3s. He's got tier 2 mystical, so he actually has a pretty decent fight right now. But we have the XP advantage, so I'm kind of okay with it. I'm going to just use my 1 to group up the wave here, and we can sort of just look at, maybe pressuring out the blue camp. Jump to 3, like I said, and yeah, let's just run towards it. I'm not going to let a death stifle the aggression, because we have plenty of it in this character. He does have cage though. There's a mid laner here actually. Ball people. I don't even get the blue. But we're out, so I guess it's fine. That was really quite strange. I'm surprised I didn't get that blue, by the way. I guess I did it a tiny bit too early, but kill comes out of it, so it is good for us. We're just gonna get this camp here and probably look for a reset. Did take a lot of damage, which I don't love. We're going shifters for our first item. Could go Phoenix Shield though as well. They're both quite good. Kind of an awkward start. He's probably gonna get these neutrals here. I can't really do too much. I guess I could. It's just a little scary. I'm gonna bait a little bit here. I do have a Bastet around. Remember, he has no cage, so not super afraid. We're gonna knock up, so we set up, hit the 1, hit the auto. He is just dead. Good job. Alrighty, we are back in the full swing of things, and we're totally all set. Bit of a hiccup for a second there. I guess I did play a little bit too aggressive. I mean, you're kind of used to people just rolling over, so good on the Odin to stand his ground a little bit. We didn't hit that, oops. But yeah, I'm just surprised that the Pos killed me. I guess that's just like Wing Shard cheese. Who the hell? I don't know. I mean, it works, so good for him. Definitely didn't expect to take that much damage. But look, we forced a wave in. I could stay for that camp, but at the time I didn't have info on the pause. The moment I reset, I saw him in mid. It's going to be important to play a little bit safe, obviously, ideally, just so we don't, throw away a lead or anything like that. And sort of, we kind of have a moment out to like actually talk about what we want to build and what we can build. So typically, right here, this is a standard Chulainn build that you can always go. These first 6 items, and then you can choose to go like a Binding Last or an Archdruids or Dawnbringer, whatever it may be. You could also go Cloak on this character. It's fairly easy to stack on him, depending on the game. And if you were to go Prophetic Cloak, you would go right after Shifters. I have this tier 1 item, but if I find myself like in a pretty good spot when I'm resetting, I could also just kind of go Prophetic Cloak then. So we'll see. We're going to kind of be tentative on that. Notice we have wave pressure again, and the jungler is in mid. So this is a really easy invade, at least potentially. Isn't spawned just yet, so I gotta be a little cognizant of that. We'll try to steal this here. I think we're all good. Poseidon's not around. Obviously, this Odin is quite tanky, but yeah, he kind of realizes if he does walk over to this, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And the thing is with his build, right, which makes him tankier than a traditional solo laner would be at this point in the game, is that you don't have any MP5 on it. So even though he's able to survive and at times farm some things, right there, I think he did an okay call, just pushing the wave, securing the silver camp. He's not going to have mana sustain, so if we're able to steal blues, he's in a lot of trouble. And that's kind of just the trade-off you get when you build Warriors X. You get better fight, so he has a little bit better fight, and it's harder for me to kill him than if he had went Bluestone. But he has to trade off, of course, the lack of mana sustain, which is going to be a really big problem for him in this laning phase pretty quickly. We're going to just kind of auto him, trade with him. I'm a little careful because I don't know where this Poseidon is. I don't have a Chalice quite yet, so I'll just kind of play a little bit safe. I do really want to fight, but again, I just don't know where this guy is, so I'm going to kind of give a little bit of lane pressure away. This feels like a very obvious bait in my book, right? Because why would he ever be like walking up to fight? Oh wow, he just is for no reason. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's kind of insane. Yeah, so he had no help coming. He just wanted to fight. Fair enough. Did jump my one, which is quite good by him. But this is a trade I do win eventually, even if it looks a little bit sketchy at first. We're going to be able to pick up the Scepter, jump on him, poke him. There's no kill here, but there doesn't need to be. We just want to kind of create clearance for these neutrals and then go do those. And again, the idea with Prophetic Cloak is obviously if I went like a Phoenix Shield, my fight's a little bit better, but I really don't need to be fighting better. I'm out trading this guy, I'm getting neutrals over him, so I'm building a lead. I forgot this isn't up just yet, but I'm building a lead, and that's kind of all I need, right? And if I go Prophetic Cloak, I'm able to actually stack, something and get something in a lane that's, because of his build and because of just the matchup, quite frankly, is kind of dead. So you don't need kills to build a lead, right? We've talked about this a lot on this channel, and even though this is a favorable matchup, when it's tank versus tank, especially in their, really leaning into defense early, probably not going to be a kill. There doesn't need to be. Odin's going to go to his blue right now. Again, pure ranked brain would say always invade this, apply pressure. Being realistic, where's our vision? I'm very, effective right now with my lead. I don't want to just throw it away for nothing. So I'm going to posture over to BDK just to kind of cover and watch, make sure they're not doing it. And, if they were on it right now, I could, cause a big disturbance. But in terms of actually going for some kind of a blue buff invade, it's just a little unwise too. Now, I'm not sure if they were covering it or not. Odin may have just gone away with murder, so to speak, but those are kind of the decisions you have to make because of the way your map is being played and set up. We're not getting, like, a ton of jungle attention, and we don't need it, right? A lot of people think they have a solo laner that has pressure, solo laner that is just like strong at fighting, and you have to play through them. I've traditionally always viewed as solo as like being better, staying as a solo lane and kind of staying weak side. You're a tank, you can stall out and live jungle ganks more effectively than ADCs can a lot of the time, and you should try to just utilize that, right? Obviously, it's a little awkward in saying as I died at like level 3, but the idea stands that realistically, if I'm getting jungle rotations or I'm just not getting help, I can still build a very substantial lead on my own, and it doesn't tether my jungle to make a play. Maybe, she can go over duo side and impact this Charybdis positively, which it seems like so far she's done a pretty good job of doing. So I think it's definitely better to be dependent or independent and kind of not need some help from somebody else, because that's just like a very difficult playstyle to always maintain, especially if you're, you know, solo queued, right? You're just not going to be getting that. You know, and kind of in lieu of that, we have this Prophetic Cloak, which we can start stacking now. This guy's going to take fights on us, just kind of because he thinks he can win trades, or maybe he wants to get me low for this Poseidon, but all the meanwhile, we'll just be building stacks on him. We got to get 15 physical stacks, so we're already at 3. This is going to be done very, very quickly, and we'll be able to get magical stacks once we rotate out. So a very easy kind of part of this lane that we'll be able to get done super, super quickly. Just going to want to kind of clear out these bastions. Notice the team is playing really aggro on left, so I actually can rotate. No, they're already dead. I was going to actually rotate over there, but I'm going to be a little bit careful now, because if my team is collapsing bottom left, where is Pos? That's kind of the billion-dollar question. Right now, we don't know. So I'm just going to kind of play a little bit safe. C2 in mid. Again, I'm assuming Poseidon should be on the blue buff. He might not be, right? And if I had some vision stuff, could I place it right there? Absolutely, to kind of check. But let's... Oh, Poseidon's dead. Oh, I'm just a bot. Okay, never mind. We had the good habit, but never mind. Poseidon's literally dead. I don't know why. You know what it is? He's kind of gray already with his beard. Oh, that's definitely going to get, like, memed on. Whatever. He's gray already with the beard. I thought he was just, like, alive. He was dead. I definitely invade that blue every time. So that was really stupid. But at least we're practicing discipline, right? That's good. It's listen, practicing discipline's a good thing. I'm coping very hard. Yeah, yikes. Alright, nothing much to say about that. Hey, we still got a lead. We're doing okay. How ahead are we? 1,200. Pretty good. These team fights are going to be a blast. I'm going to go Phoenix Shield here. I want to finish that out still. It's just straight up good. Cooldown, Fizz Prots. Phoenix Shield is used pretty well on this character. You got a ton of abilities to be getting that healing sustain out of. And yeah, there's not really a reason not to build it on this character. You could go Mystical Mail instead if you really wanted to. I don't think that's bad or anything. It's sort of up to you, you know, which one you do decide to go, because generally you don't have room for both. I personally like the sustain and feel like, especially with shifters, I'll be doing plenty of damage, so I don't personally like have a big preference, and in this game I'm not going Mystical, and I really don't feel bad about it. But if you like Mystical a little bit more, I mean, power to you. It really doesn't mean much, in my opinion. I think they're both quite good, and they just do slightly different things. I think, if anything, like, if you feel like they're going to build a lot of anti-heal, you know, you could go for the mystical side of things. Also, Odin's probably rotating mid, and that is just not a good fight. I did call it. I could have kept going, but there's nothing there, so I just kind of let it go. And that's just sort of a walkout angle, but it's all good. If they go over to gold, I will rotate. If not, though, he's just missing a full wave. It looks like they're not going, so he's going to miss a full wave. I'm not saying that rotation was bad. I'm just saying I didn't have a rotation back. Maybe now we do, as they're starting to kind of file out. But I don't, again, I don't want to force something that's just not good. We get a tower for it. So if you look at it, you can say tower for support. Not too bad for us. So again, kind of just make sure you can build something and have a reason for not rotating if you aren't going to. You get a pretty good blink ult here. It might not be a kill, unfortunately, but at least force people out all the way, and maybe we get something out of it. And you don't want to commit too hard here and die for nothing, especially with the lead. That'd be pretty bad. I can look for a root, just out of range. I'm not going to dash in and root, because that is a sketchy game to play for sure. So no worries. Fish for slaying, didn't find it. At least we forced people out. And we'll try to get a blue here and just sort of disengage. We know Poseidon's not going to come here because of how low he was, so I can kind of just like fast clear this and bounce. Despite him getting a kill, we've extended the lead to 1800. So, you know, it's not a big deal. That's why, you know, pushing waves out before you rotate is pretty impactful, right? I'm not going to go to Silver Camp because, again, we could just get ganked here. It's a really good gank by them. I might be giving them too much credit for foreseeing that type of a gank, but we did just notice their back rights just got cleared, so it is possible. And I want to try to like play this character as disciplined as I would recommend playing it, because I do know he's very good, and I do know, like, yes, sure, you could push a lead maybe a little bit harder at times, push an advantage a little bit harder, but without comms, without kind of the know-how on certain players and where they're at, it's better to just play a little bit more discipline, especially with a really stupid death we took earlier. I'm going to go Pestilence. It's nice to get some anti-heal, especially with your 1. Poseidon should be building a good amount of healing. Kurnanos, of course. Chiron, passive even. The stats on the item are just really strong. You could go something like Oni's if you really wanted to as well. Or even Heartward. All good options. Yeah, don't feel super strongly towards any of them. They all do different things. I just love Pesty on this character because I'm already stomping out so much healing that when I have it, it's like super good. But this is a great fight, right? And it's a great fight because we're on a huge spike, and they are the ones aggressing, and we're not winning this fight necessarily, but we're not losing it so hard that it's unplayable. Man, and he lives. I think I whiffed my 1, but it's still good, so don't really care. I missed. Oh, yikes. We're fine though. We should be able to kill somebody, maybe, in a second. Maybe not. I don't know. I kind of whiffed. I'm not going to lie. That's a very sad. Got my 3 canceled there. I'm out. It's all good. Man, that is tough. That looked really good. I did miss a little bit, so that is kind of my fault. Obviously, we couldn't kill Kuma in his passive. That'd be a little bit troll just to be auto-attacking him, you know, mid-fight like that. Wouldn't really work. We don't have a tower here. Maybe I can just, like, peel a bit. Not really. I'm always fine here. Yeah, we're always fine. Okay. All good. We've had 2 rotations that have not really netted us what we were looking for. I am going to get a Chalice here because I probably should have gotten it sooner, but that's okay, you know? Definitely would have wished to get something there. I missed a little bit. I got interrupted a couple of times. I think the most important thing is that we definitely can do damage. We're definitely in a good spot farm-wise, and we're never committing too hard that we are dying. You know, if something, it doesn't look super good from a chasing perspective, we're just not really, like, getting ourselves killed over it. They have a lot of backline, a little bit more than traditionally in this comp, so you have to be really aware of that. So generally speaking, right, you have, like, a jungler who's diving, and then 2 backliners are diving. Because they have a pos jungle, it's sometimes 3 backliners are diving. And that means you have to be a little bit more restrictive on just kind of how far you're going. Because again, we're doing nothing while dead. If we're a tank and we're alive, we're at least like able to zone, at least able to just like exert pressure with our presence, that kind of stuff. And it's really, again, important that unless I'm trading out people, I'm not just dying for nothing. This is kind of a shit transform. We'll at least rotate over. I'll be able to get it back really quick. I might just look for a blink ult here. I'm going to path top. We have 13 seconds. I do have enough time. Poseidon doesn't have actives, but I don't even need to blink. I'm just going to go on this guy a little bit. Auto ult him with the 1. We're totally okay. We got a little bit of poke. This fight is, like, playable. We are a little low on the team. So maybe not so great. Oh, I got Kern ulted. That's not good. Yeah, this is, like, a disaster. We're, like, really poked before I even get to these fights. That's kind of, like, a lot of the problem. I'm fine here, though. Yeah, the fights are super split in the lane, and, like, we're always poked out. So it's going to be hard to win one when it's sort of like that from the start. I do have TP, though. I feel like I can make a play on this. I'm going to TP on this. Does he see me? Oh, he does. I get it off in time, but they already did gold. Too bad. Does this guy ever do pyro? I mean, he should be able to. Crit me? What's his build? Oh, he's going to fail now. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit of an awkward match. Like, traditionally, excuse me, like, we're supposed to just, like, look for a fight in the jungle. I don't know why we're fighting in lane so hard. Is there, like, 4v4s in lane? Both solos rotate, and it's just, like, it's very split, and I'm not really sure why. I know they have Odin cage and stuff, but Odin's not caging people, like, to start the fight. Yeah, I don't know. This is just sort of a shit show. Huh. Well, that's too bad. Probably has secures me here. I can jump for it. Never mind, we're good. I'm okay. If I get Kumba ulted, it's fine. Alright, let's see. If we take a grouped fight, I really do think we do just win, by the way. We haven't taken one yet. Don't want to, like, commit on this guy. He does have knock-up immunities and stuff, which are always really good into Chulainn. Yeah, I guess it's just, like, farming time. I mean, this game, we're only down 1k as a team. It feels much worse than that because this fight selection is just atrocious. But I guess that's like comforting to know that if we actually do group, we'll get a good fight. I'm totally fine here. I just got like a free stack out of that, so I'm pretty happy. Still got to get 9 more on magicals, which might take a bit of time, but we can get there. I feel like this is going to be one of those games where I have to force an engage really hard. And those are always not fun games, I gotta be honest. Oh man, he's not helping me. Okay, I really don't want to transform here. We'll just wait, leash it, 2, just auto it down. Yeah, it's not great. Obviously, we're an engaged character, but like they have a very safe backline. And again, they have also 3 backliners, so they can just sort of like escape pretty easily. It's a lot of these just like little awkward angles that I'm coming in. Again, we are just like lane fighting and lane fighting. And it's not good, right? Like, what are we... Well, that was actually pretty decent. Maybe I can do something here. Yeah, this looks good now. Jump on this guy. He's dead. It's fine. We just immune. He's dead, too. Okay, yeah, the Ganesh actually got a God ult, so he made it work. I hate lane fights like this, but if he's just going to kind of, like, carry us, hey. Oh, yeah, we root. Ult here. It's 3 down. Somebody DC'd on their team. Odin. He was late. Okay. Odin wasn't even in that fight because we rotated first, but I don't know if he rage quit. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he just lagged out, but that fight was always won. The moment Ganesha got that ult, that fight was insta-won. I didn't really do much there. I mean, I know I got 3, but that I really didn't do anything. It's just a very awkward game. Like, what we should be doing with this draft, and it's really difficult to kind of instill this because the game's just, like, kind of working. You know what I mean? Is that we should group together in the jungle around an objective because we have really good burn with Anubis, but we also have really good angles in the jungle because like they don't have enough frontline to survive. Like they're not even they don't have enough frontline, but their backline doesn't have enough self peel to survive like an Eshol or a Cuckoo Engage or a Bastet flank in the jungle. So we posture around an objective and then we just kind of flank them. That's how we should be playing. We're not doing that, and it's really hard to dissuade a team from doing that when it's working. But this is kind of a shit show, and you say that because it's 15-15, and that's usually a bad look at 21 minutes. Again, we're winning, so I guess it's okay. This guy wants to call a Fire Giant. I actually don't think it's a bad call at all. I do hope this guy comes back. I don't know if he like raged or just DC'd. I'm assuming he just DC'd. Can let Bastet finish that. I'll tank for this Ganesha as he's about to hop out. Again, we do have a bomb, so that's what makes this like really comfortable. Obviously, Odin DCing is part of the factor, but I think we do like realistically get this even with Odin here, most likely. I don't know though, if this guy does just like end up being out, it might just kind of be cooked. We'll ward here. They're like looking for a fight. I'm totally okay though. So let's Sunder down. We want to immune the ultimate from Kumba if he throws it for us, but we won't be the target. Odin came back. Woohoo. I really don't want to fight here, so we should just get out. I've got Redstone, which is great. Super awesome for building up protections. And now with 20% cooldown with this build, we can make a choice of what we want to go last. Pridwin's a good buy. Binding's a good buy. Archer's a good buy. So is Dawnbringer. I've got tier 1 Pridwin right now because I feel like that's what I want to go, but I'll be totally honest, I might change my mind. I kind of feel like Dawnbringer's fun, you know? I used to do some Chulainn Dawnbringer games on this channel ages ago, and it's quite good. It actually might be really good in this game as well because like I kind of do have a lot of like chase down necessity because they do have quite fast backliners, so I don't know. I kind of look at it like you go Binding or Pridwin if you're like worried about the burst, and I should be worried, but we're ahead, so I'm not. Yeah, I think that's a pretty simple way to put it. Just kind of zone him. It's really non-committal. I don't need to use an ultimate. We just do half his health. Kurnos is in a bad spot. We ult as he wants to dash. And I walked forward. He ended up walking to the side to avoid us. So despite, you know, like not hitting him with the ult, it doesn't really matter. 2 dashes down and stuff like that. And again, I think so much of like diving on these solo lane picks is that you can create so much space without inting, right? We are going in, but we're always having some kind of a dash or way to escape, and we're splitting the fight. So I walk up forward there, Kernos is forced to path in. If he walks forward, he dies to a ult. If he doesn't, you know, he's just doomed. And on top of that, we're also separating the aggro. I think one of like, it's super important, because if I'm like condensed on my team right there trying to kill the Kern, which I know they have him, I'm not zoning away any of the damage coming, right? So you want to like try to separate as much as you can and always have a dash out. That's like the biggest thing on Chulainn, but also just these like kind of meta solo laners. Question is, do I go Dawnbringer, yes or no? We're going to go for fun. I don't think it's necessarily like objectively always better, but we're going to go for fun. I mean, it's an obvious answer. The item's really cool, and you can only really build it on like Chulainn and Chalk, and I didn't do it in the Chalk video, so let me make up for it here. I really do miss Redstone. It is such a good starter. I mean, there's a couple other characters you can go on, mainly Pele, which when I do a Pele video, if I remember for A to Z, I will go it. That's just like, what, a month away or something, so not sure I'll remember. We'll see. But that definitely is a good Pele item. So Pele, Chulainn, Chalk. Off the top of my head, that's really the only characters that like tangibly can go the item and like make it well. And all it does is it's basically just a defensive Erendite. When you use it, you gain movement speed and prots when you use your ultimate. So, pretty damn fun. And quite good on this character. Just with, you know, how like ultimate-centric he is. Just juke away from the 3. Can look for another little kind of trade here. I know I'm definitely right on the line of inting, but we're still full and they're a little spooked. I do have Fire Blink. I can kind of just start to walk up here. And then we just look for a blink jump, we immune the Mez, and we chase. This Dawnbringer is going to make us super fast, and we are here to make space. Now we split back, go to the backliners. Look how the Odin overcommits because their backline spooked. And we, again, that was all just like a feint. We don't actually need to go for them. We just have to force them out enough to isolate. So if it's not the backliners, it's just the frontliner. And he gets split. Now Odin could also just run and jump away right there as well. A lot of solo laners just straight up won't, but even if he does, like, we still get a lot of damage on him because he's not out, right? We're still in between the Odin and the whole team. So we either force them out there or, you know, just kill them and then we can get a tier 2 on left or whatever the case might be. We should leave. This is never going to work. But hey, we got a pick. It was nice. We'll go to Fire Giant right now. And, yeah, almost was better a little bit. We almost got like a second kill, but just didn't manage to this time. No big deal. We just want to go to fire, and we'll look at that. Go put a sentry here. I want to try to get like a crescent shape around this, so we just cover pretty well, and we make it difficult, you know, for them to get in. We don't have really great secure. We do have a bomb, but we don't have great secure aside from that, which, you know, obviously the bomb can just be a little bit inconsistent, we'll say. So they might just go to gold. They might try to contest this, but if they do, our main thing is just going to be doing very much the same thing of what we've been doing, just trying to keep people out. And I noticed with this build, by the way, we don't have double Prophetic Cloak stacks mitigations. If that's the case with your build and you really care about getting it, the item is valuable enough with only one set of stacks. But if you want to get both, you just don't go Dawnbringer. You go probably Heartward with Glyph. It'll be a little bit more magical prots, and then instead of Dawnbringer, you just go like a Spirit Robe or something, and you'll be all good most of the time. Especially with a redstone proc, like you'll always kind of have it. So if that's what you want to do, feel free to do it. Definitely not a bad decision at all. It's just not what we're doing this game because, well, I wanted to go a fun item. All right, team's going to be pulling Fire Giant. Let's try to keep out the people who are threatening. I think that these guys who are grouped are a little bit more threatening than just the Kurnos, so I'm just going to kind of go on them. I missed my one, but it's okay because we're fast, right? So we're doing damage, and look how little we've taken. That's a good look. Now we're just going to dash, follow this guy, use our roll, just a little bit off the mark. But 2 people are effectively dead in this fight because they've done nothing. We've stayed healthy. And I'm just kind of like staying in and out of ranges, weaving in to kind of make them commit. And the whole time our team did a very, very good call, which was we had numbers on the fight. Let's not try to 50-50 it. Let's just commit. And that's always what you want to do generally when you don't feel comfortable and you're secure. So we had bomb, of course, sure, but like Charybdis just didn't like it and said, let's get the guaranteed win. And that's a great call. That's a very like smart thing to do. So I'm extremely happy with my team. Good job, guys. We got our ultimate up in 20. Pick up a red buff here. And we're going to just run in, do the same thing, jump out. And that hopefully will be the match. Pretty cut and dry. I think the play angle on this character is much easier than other characters, and that's part of why he's so strong. If this gold was like a little bit more under contention, we do the exact same thing where we just kind of walk, we look for a blink. Again, group targets is the best, but if they're not super grouped, I mean, they have to be grouped to some degree, right? Let's say they have a jungler that's a flanking jungler, then the backliners are grouped together, meaning the two ADCs or the mid ADC. It's never going to be that the ADC's on one side and the mid's on the other side. I mean, it is possible, but if that's the case, like, they're just going to lose the game. Good players group together in the backline, and bad players will just get soloed in the backline if they're not grouped. So, yeah, I'm never worried about, like, the third person, because the Kurnos was split there, but, like, who cares? Because if he walks up on his own, the jungler just kills him, and we have a numbers advantage. I'm always happy with that. They're going to go in here, so what do? We just kind of be a little bit imposing. Don't need to commit anything until they really walk up. We get sundered here, but I'm totally fine. And we're, you know, for the most part, just trying to kind of force abilities. Cryptus made a bit of an aggro play, but it did work. Hold on, that was best that hit on him. Redstone kills him. We auto him down here. Play for the dash. Cripple, really good root by him. And then we just immune the thing, but he's still dead. Kurnos played that quite well, I gotta give it to him. Wasn't enough though. Just go right here if we want to make the super safe call, or we just end. That's, either one's totally cool. Thought we could get that in time. Right there I don't auto attack and catch his dash, but all good. Solid, easy. Wasn't really expecting much else. Obviously I shitted up a little bit at that like level 3 death. That was a little troll. We kind of got wing shard exploded, dude. That was sick. I've never seen someone like do something like that on pos. I really thought I was like for sure out. That's why I was a bit quiet afterwards. That just kind of didn't expect it. But yeah, one of the more traditional stable soul laners out of the way. And that'll be that. We'll check the player damage. I'm gonna guess like 30k maybe, 28k. Pretty solid, nice wards. Definitely didn't get to apply pressure as much in the solo lane in terms of invades, but we didn't need to. We were able to get the neutrals. I think there were a lot of times Poseidon was at least hovering around. Obviously, that one time he was dead, maybe a little bit, you know, different. But team also played pretty well. I'm not gonna lie and say that like this was like some hard carry game. I just kind of was like in a winning system this match and took advantage of it. I think I did a lot, but I didn't have to do everything, which is always nice. So GG's, that'll be it for Chulainn. I'll catch you guys back with the next video, and thank you so much for watching as always, and peace.